biggest cricket carnival in the country is going to be returning. Yes, the IPL. And who better than Karan Taurani, Senior VP at Elara Securities, to highlight what exactly is this IPL extravaganza going to be this time around. Karan, first, tell me what all matches are you already going for and have booked tickets for?
Hi, Isha. Good afternoon. I'm going for the MI-RCB and the
Of
MI-CSK match.
course. And are those the favorite teams as well, as is always the case?
Yes, yes. Dhoni and Kohli are my favorite players.
Okay. So, Karan, tell me, business-wise, we've seen IPL only grow bigger by the day. There's that fervor in the country as well after the Champions Trophy win. What would IPL mean in terms of numbers this time around?
So, Aisha, after IPL was, offered free, after Jio Cinema took over on the OTT platform in the last media auction rights, this is the first year that, Jio as a platform will start charging for IPL. I think if you look at the kind of ARPUs they're going to have, they've got multiple packages here. It's a very good thing that they've got packages for existing, Jio subscribers in terms of, some kind of top-up recharge of 100 rupees, wherein you can watch IPL on the mobile phone. You have got existing Geo Cinema users, wherein you can watch this on connected TV and about 2 to 4 devices by paying anywhere in the range of 800 to 1500 rupees on an annualized basis. That's the subscription plan, the regular one. Third, of course, is a very interesting plan wherein they've actually launched that you have to do a recharge of somewhere around 300 to 400, and as a new customer, you can watch IPL basis that for those 2 months. So I think very interesting plans packages have been designed, and we clearly believe that SWOT is the future. If you have to really kind of have a sticky revenue base, you cannot only depend on AWOD. Globally, we have seen that this kind of content is very premium in nature. Sports, you have to pay a hefty amount in terms of buying out the rights, and you cannot really depend only on AWOD because the AWOD business is kind of cyclical. So SWOT is the right way to go ahead. But what we believe is that you will see TV seeing a respite in the last 2 years because IPL was offered free on digital platforms. TV had seen a sharp decline in terms of the ad spends. This time around, because IPL is being charged, on the digital platform, it's not offered free even on mobile for that matter. TV will see some kind of respite in terms of the ad spends, but the growth on digital may not be extremely high. Reason for that is clearly because it is behind the paywall. So you will see a lower number in terms of viewers because it's put behind the paywall. And we don't see SWOT revenues kind of making up, for the losses in terms of the ad revenue in this year around. But 2 to 3 years down the line, once SWOT revenue scales up, we will see that number, increasing further in terms of scale. Now, another interesting perspective to drive the digital ad revenue, for the IPL is connected TV. Clearly, because over there the pricing is extremely low, there is scope for increase in terms of pricing within connected TV. Connected TV ad spends in India is only about 4 to 5% of the TV advertising spend as compared to global countries wherein it's more than 25-30%. So there is a lot to offer in terms of the various packages and plans, and connected TV is going to be the next big thing as far as ad spend is concerned.
Right, absolutely. Very good afternoon to you, Karan. This show, so joining the conversation. It is not just that where you have the subscription and the viewership, but there's also an ad revenue factor in all of this when you talk about IPL, right? Because you have a lot of big brands actually spending a lot of big mullahs on all of this.
So in terms of brands, I think the environment remains to be quite strong. So over the last 2 to 3 years, for every cricketing tournament, we have seen a big support from the internet companies. This time around, also similar support will come in. But specifically, there are companies like Campacola, which have seen new launches. There are some companies in the EV side, which will see more fillip in terms of ad spends, and some other consumer-led companies as well. So advertising spends overall basis are going to be good. One more interesting point here to note is that this is the first cycle wherein the RIL Disney merger is done with. Until last year or rather 2 years ago, TV and digital were fighting amongst themselves in terms of ad spends. So you will see a lot of synergies also being created, amongst both these entities, and bargaining power will be in favor of advertisers. Of course, there was this CCI issue approval, during the merger, wherein the companies were not allowed to take a price hike, beyond a certain extent. But I think over a period of time, you will see that negative impact, moving away from here on. I think clearly, if synergies come in together, if both these entities come in together, IPL is a very large property. And in the next 3 years, 4 years, if content costs come down in terms of cost of acquisition for IPL, potentially it can also be a break even given the kind of behemoth both these companies control.
Right. Also, lastly, I wanted to understand from you, if you have to actually look at all of these businesses in light of what we have to offer, because in India, I think there has been a substantial boom over the last 1.5 year, be it concerts, be it all of Mahakumbh, or for the matter of fact, now you have the Champions Trophy, now you have actually the IPL. What does it mean for all of these companies that are into it, and how should one actually gauge it if you are looking for one of these companies as an investment opportunity?
Opportunity within the listed space, we don't have too many plays. We can, either invest into an IPL team, which is seeing reasonable amount of growth in terms of the potential ad revenue that they make in terms of share, versus the IPL tournament that would be made. But in terms of ticketing revenue, that number is fairly small. So, for all the IPL teams put together, not more than 15-20% of their revenues comes from ticketing. So that is some kind of fillip we'll see in terms of growth going ahead. Apart from that, there are not too many event companies, which are listed. We can obviously, have a play on TV 18, Network 18, which will actually see increased ad revenue because of these, IPL kind of properties going ahead, and also the sports monopoly that they have, so-called. But I think the losses are going to be very hefty. As I said, the content cost is extremely high in the near term. And no matter what they do in terms of SWOD, or rather they scale up the AWOD base, we may not see a potential break-in for the next 2 to 3 years. Unfortunately, there are not enough listed players on the event management side wherein, you can have, kind of investment interest as of now.
So within the listed pool, Karan, what's the best way to capitalize on IPL?
The best way to capitalize IPL is, having a play on United Spirits, on Sun TV. These are companies which own IPL teams. If you look at a business model like Sun TV, they are into the linear broadcasting segment. And if you exclude the IPL valuations, I think recently there were some reports that Gujarat Titans valuations was around $900 million. And Gujarat Titans is currently making losses. If you look at the older teams like, RCB, CSK, and the likes of SRH, they are making healthy amount of profits. They are making EBITDA margins of more than 40-50%. So I think valuations for these companies could be far higher at about $1.5 to $1.8 billion. And if this were to be true, the core broadcasting Sun TV business is available at very cheap valuation. So I think that is some momentum in terms of upside. Second is also in the case of United Spirits. Again, herein the contribution is very small in terms of market cap contribution, because United Spirits is a large cap stock. But if you want to have a play in terms of IPL, which is growing at about 15-20% on a CAGR basis, reporting 40% plus EBITDA margins, and having no new entrant, because I think the number of teams are going to be limited over a period of time, you can definitely play on these two stocks as of now.
Okay, great insight there, Karan. Thanks as always for your time.